Okay, good.
These memories. Smile on the outside, trying to hold back tears, wishing I could stop time. New start. I wish I hadn't ignored them, they were so dear. All these things they have been through and endured, just to be ignored, and I am left with these memories forever in my heart.
These memories, his first time at the waves, his first time at a water park, his first time swimming in a pool. His family took him because they thought he needed to go once in his life. The water gently rocks his raft, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The sun shines down on him while the young kids playfully splash around. He closes his eyes to relax. Waves, someone screams. He looks up and sees the gentle waves become bigger and bigger and bigger. He becomes frightened as he tries to get out. It catches up and sends him spinning, tossing and turning, tossing and turning, tossing and turning. His family tries to help him out of water. If you ask them about it, they'll just laugh. But looking into their eyes, you'll see how afraid they really were. They're glad their grandfather survived that, but nobody lives forever. And I'm left with these memories forever in my heart.
These memories. She was getting sicker and sicker each and every day, and then one day she went away. Yellow roses were her favorite. Once she died and we laid her to rest, we put a bouquet by her grave. We knew they would make her happy. So there they lie, now brown and dead, but all of her memories remain in my head, and I am left with these memories forever in my heart.
These memories. My great-grandmother was in a nursing home. We'd go and visit her every so often. Whenever we went, she always wanted chocolate, but couldn't have any. I remember when I was young and when we could eat chocolate together, but now she can't. She's 94 years old, can't have sugar anymore. One day when we were there, the doctor said she would die in 2 weeks. My dad told the nurse whatever she wanted to give it to her. The one thing she asked for was chocolate. I think of her every time I eat a piece of chocolate, never passing up one piece, and I am left with these memories forever in my heart.
These memories. I know there is an angel watching over me. She is my grandmother. She died the day before National Grandparents' Day. I had sent a card to my uncle to read to her. It got there too late. I got a letter and knew right away what had happened. I read it anyway. He had written that he was so sorry that he had gotten the letter too late. He told me that he and my grandmother had talked for hours about her family. They also talked about my sister and me a lot. He said that she knew how much I loved her. I know that she is waiting for me. I know there's an angel watching over me, and I am left with these memories forever in my heart.
These memories. One year my grandma made banana cream pie. I never really liked bananas, but it was pie, so I figured that I'd give it a shot. I ate all of it, but I didn't really like it. I ate it because my grandmother was really proud of it. My dad wasn't finished because he, of course, had to take a huge piece, and I had little more than a sliver. Apparently her shaky hands had put eggshells in the pie accidentally. Now whenever I see banana cream pie, I think of her, and I am left with these memories forever in my heart. These memories. It was my great-grandma's birthday. Every year for her birthday, we would go to the Olive Garden. This year was no different. Everybody got the same thing they always got. When we were done eating, the waitress gave us each a little chocolate mint. This tradition went on even after she died. Now whenever I eat an Olive Garden chocolate mint, I think of her, and I am left with these memories forever in my heart.
These memories. Her thin gray hair sways in the cool winter air. Her back hunches over and her little legs struggle to carry her. She looks at me through squinted eyes that say as much as her mouth is. She scowls at me through clenched dentures of how I'm a disgrace, of how I'll never go anywhere, of how I don't mean a thing to her. I know she doesn't mean it, at least that's what I've been telling myself. She's always been harsh. When my mother was younger, she made her sleep on the cold, hard wooden floor of the porch. She kicked my mom out of the house when my mom turned 13. But Mom says at one time grandmother was beautiful. She was kind and she was happy. Looking at her now, you would never guess it. Ever since grandfather left her when Mom was 2, she's just been grumpy. I'm always trying to please her, and it never works. I'll never forget how bad those words hurt me, and I am left with these memories forever in my heart.
These memories. One day I walked in the door when I came home from school. My parents were sitting on the couch with grave faces. As soon as my dad spoke, I could tell by the sound of his voice that something was wrong. He said to me, "Something has happened," and I instantly knew. "Oh my God, she died, didn't she?" I said as tears rapidly came and filled my eyes. "Yes, I'm so sorry," said my dad. I ran crying into his arms. My great-grandmother was like a best friend to me. I was extremely sad when she died, but we had plenty of memories, too many to say. And I am only left with these memories forever in my heart.
These memories. Usually can't be attached to anyone I don't know, but something about him made me feel safe. He had a cap that was out of style, but still something just felt right. When my grandmother told me he had to take a nap, I refused to let him go. That sad call that God took him, a war veteran, a gentle man who made me feel safe. Whenever I see his car in my grandmother's driveway, I think of the great-grandfather who made me feel safe, and I am left with these memories forever in my heart.
These memories. Grandfather who never gave up. Grandfather who was always there. Grandfather who made me a camp. Grandfather who in my eyes will always be a champ. Grandfather who could do anything. Grandfather who I think is a king. Grandfather who is faithful and true. Grandfather who loves me, and I love him too. And I am left with these memories forever in my heart.
These memories. My uncle was a hunter. He was fearless. But when the doctors told him he had leukemia, I saw it in his eyes. Fear. Seeing that in him was unfamiliar. It scared me. Leukemia is the type of cancer that has no cure. He wasn't old, but he seemed old. Weary, tired, fragile. That was not my uncle, but that is what the cancer did to him. My once lively uncle spent endless months in bed. I hated seeing him like this. I went to go visit him. I told him about my week. I talked. He listened. It was time to leave, and as I was saying goodbye to him, he said, "Be strong." I was going to ask him what he meant, but he was worn out just by saying those 2 words. "I love you," I said. I looked over and I found him fast asleep. That was the last time I spoke to him. He died 5 years ago, and I still remember his funeral. I didn't understand why everyone was playing a joke on me. "He's not dead," I shouted. "He can't be." I didn't even get to say goodbye. He never got to tell me he loved me. I was in 5th grade when my teacher told us we had to write a poem for class. She said it could be about whatever we wanted. I decided to write it about him. My teacher thought it was the best one in the class, so she entered it in a contest, and it got published in a book. And now every time I look at that book, I remember him. He was 43 when he died, and I am left with these memories forever in my heart.
And that's it. We have more pictures.
Yeah.